Hello and welcome. My name is Jocelyn, but if you clicked on this video, you probably already know that because this is a Q&A for people who probably are subscribed to my channel. Let's be honest. No one is probably going to click on this video if you don't already subscribe to me. So it's been a hot minute since I have done a Q&A. I've actually only ever done one Q&A on my channel that was just my own, and then Alex and I, my husband, filmed one on for our anniversary back in October. So this is the technical third Q&A on my channel, but the second one that is just featuring me. I asked for questions in 3 different places, the first of which was on a video that I posted in the past at some point a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a Get Ready With Me, and then I posted on the community tab and I posted on Instagram. So 3 different places. This is probably gonna be a fairly long video, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, also, I have a Riesling with me that has been in my fridge for a couple of months, an open Riesling. So, all right, so we got some wine here. Let's go ahead and get started with the questions that were on the video that I posted. There's not that many of them, so this part should go by relatively fast. So the first question that I have come across is asking what state I live in. I live in Oregon. That's where I live. Southern Oregon. Born and raised. Oh, next, somebody asked what my husband is going to school for, and his degree is in digital cinema, I think is the title of the degree. He's been going to school for about 9 years on and off and through different types of programs, and he finally settled on digital cinema, which is actually a brand new degree to the school that he is currently in. So yeah, digital cinema. So that was actually it on the video, which is only a couple questions, but there is quite a lot that were left on my community tab. So let me head there. All right, the first one, what's your all-time favorite brand? Okay, I feel like I've answered this question probably before, but and I feel like it stumps me every time because I really love ColourPop. I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people. I love the story behind it. I love that they're made in the United States and they're very inclusive and the price point is on point. There's a lot of things that I love about ColourPop. However, I don't really love their base products, and so it's hard for me to call them my all-time favorite brand because I love their lip products, cheek products, and eye products, but I don't love their base products, which are kind of a fundamental part of the makeup process for me. So concealers, foundations, powders, all of that, not my jazz. I've also never tried a bronzer or contour from them, so there's that. I really love Urban Decay also, and I like Fenty too. Ugh, it's hard. It's really hard. Ooh, this next question. Brands you want to try and brands you wish would go cruelty-free. I haven't really thought about brands that I want to try this year. Last year, and I think the year before that, I made a video talking about the brands that I wanted to try in the next year, but I did not do that this year. I did try quite a few brands. Ooh, you know, I do. Davina Cosmetics, I think is what it is. They have single shadows. I'm really interested in that brand, but they are expensive. Those single shadows are so expensive. Cliona Cosmetics too. Maybe that's the one I was thinking of. Cliona and Davina, I think that they both have single shadows that I've been very interested in. I don't know that there's a high-end brand that I have an interest in trying. I don't think that there is. I think that those are really the only ones on my list. Oh no, oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost forgot. A brand that I really want to try is Glossier. I have never tried anything from them. I'm getting more into that, I mean, you can't really tell based on what I'm wearing right now, but I'm getting more into that natural aesthetic, which is very much Glossier aesthetic. I'd really love to try some of their products. That is really high on my list, and then those 2 eyeshadow brands, Cliona and Davina Cosmetics. Oh, and then brands that I wish would go cruelty-free. All of them, but specifically, I really wish Maybelline would go cruelty-free. I feel like there's been a lot of products from Maybelline that I've been interested in trying, but when I find out that it's Maybelline, I immediately turn away from it. If CoverGirl can do it, I could see Maybelline doing it. Fortunately, most of my favorite brands and the ones that I have the most interest in already are cruelty-free, so there's not too many that are on my radar that aren't cruelty-free, except Maybelline. I hear a lot about Maybelline. Also, also YSL. There's been some YSL products in my past that I've really liked. Ooh, I feel like there's a lot of skincare brands that I wish would go cruelty-free. Like Fresh isn't cruelty-free, and Belief isn't cruelty-free. I wish that they would go cruelty-free. So Origins also, it'd be really great if they went cruelty-free. Estee Lauder, I would love to see Estee Lauder go cruelty-free, because there's occasionally something from that line that I have an interest in. I would love if YSL perfume would go cruelty-free, because the Black Opium perfume is my absolute favorite. There's so many more, I'm sure, that any and all brands I would love to go cruelty-free, but alas, here we are. I have a feeling eventually, slowly but surely, we'll get there, but we'll see. All right, next question. If you were a day of the week based on your personality, what day would you be? I feel like I'm a Sunday, because Sundays are for getting stuff done, but it's still the weekend, but you can't go too hard on a Sunday. I feel like I'm a Sunday. Like, I like to get things done. I like to be organized, but I'm also a very tired person. And on Sunday, you're kind of like, oh, like I'm tired, but it's still the weekend, so I can sleep in a bit. That's an interesting question. I don't know. What day of the week are you based on your personality? I would love to know down in the comments below. I think I'm like a Sunday, maybe a Thursday. That person also asked, besides makeup, do you have any other hobbies that you like to do in your free time? I love reading, but I have to be really careful, because if I start reading a book that I love, which, you know, that's kind of the intention when you start a book, is that you're gonna love it, I won't put it down. So I'll just spend hours and hours reading and won't get anything else done. But I do really love reading. I would share the books that I'm reading with you, but they're not like great literature. I like a lot of fiction, a lot of YA. I read some steamy novels on my Kindle occasionally. Makeup and reading are probably my top hobbies. Okay, if you could go back to any day in history during your lifetime or before, where and when would you go back and why? Wow. Oh, okay. I had two answers for this. The first was my brother and I used to go to Colorado every summer and visit our grandparents in Colorado Springs. Some of the best days of my life. I cherish those memories, and I feel like I'd love to go back and just spend a day in Colorado Springs in my youth with my grandparents again. Specifically, we used to go on a hike up to the Punch Bowls, and I have very vague memories but very cherished memories of this time, because in Colorado Springs there's a ton of really beautiful hikes. And then I don't remember what year it was, but historically there was a huge horrible fire in Colorado, specifically around the springs, that just terrorized the Rocky Mountains right there. And one of my favorite hikes was actually destroyed because of these fires. And it was the Punch Bowl hikes, and it was quite the hike to get up to these punch bowls that were these carve-outs in the side of a mountain that held water, freezing cold, but you better believe that I got my butt in that water. So I loved that hike, and maybe a day when we go and do that hike, I'd love to go back to. But then, just now, I thought that I would love to go back to the opening day of Disneyland. I think that would be quite the sight to see. All of these are very selfish days, but that would be pretty great to be there for the opening day of Disneyland. Next, what meal is your favorite, and if you would prepare it for a video? You don't have to eat it on camera. And what season is your favorite? Okay, so my favorite meal, ooh, what is my favorite meal? I love tortilla soup. I don't do a lot of the cooking. I bake a lot. Alex does a lot of the cooking, but I really love when we make tortilla soup, and we make it about every week and a half, every 2 weeks, because of how much we love it. We don't make it as traditional as you would find in like a Mexican restaurant, but I really love our tortilla soup. I also don't put avocados in it. I just put chicken, cheese, and chips with the tomato and broth, and I think we substitute chicken broth for veggie broth. I love it. So maybe I would make a video out of it. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but maybe. And then what season is your favorite? My favorite season is fall for sure. That's one of the reasons Alex and I got married in the fall. Another very interesting question. Anna asked, if you would be a spice, which would you be? God, I don't know. I feel like I'd be something that people get on with pretty well. Like, I'm like basic, but with a little bit of a kick. Maybe like pepper. I don't know my spices that well. Ooh, maybe like a cinnamon. Maybe I'm like, is cinnamon's considered a spice, right? I mean, maybe cinnamon. Next, what is your natural hair color? My natural hair color is what my roots look like right here, which is a blonde. I was very, very blonde, probably more like this blonde growing up, but then I dyed it red, which is what the ends sort of look like down here. We were adding blonde to it, but then it started to damage it significantly, so we're not doing that anymore, and we're just toning it. But yeah, that's my natural hair color right up here. How do you anticipate your makeup style changing as you transition back to fully blonde? Speaking of hair color, I have noticed already that there's a difference in my preferences. I don't really know what it is. I feel like I can wear more with my hair being more blonde and lighter. I am more comfortable with a variety of different colors that I wasn't as comfortable with before, because I think that my dark red or vibrant red was pretty distracting, so it made everything look a lot more dramatic. So I don't know, I have noticed a change, and more colors feel like they suit my look nowadays. Maybe I'll get more experimental with colors. We'll have to see. Ooh, who would you love to collab with from the beauty community? What other channels besides beauty do you enjoy watching? I want to collaborate with everybody, anybody and everybody. I love supporting other people. I love finding new channels, and I've been a part of some really, really big group collaborations. I do have like a nervous energy reaching out to other people. I don't think I've reached out to anybody yet. I don't know. I don't know what I'm scared of. A lot of times also I'm just so caught up in, okay, these are the videos that I'm doing. These are the videos that I need to film and that I need to edit and upload, and I'm just kind of stuck in a pattern that I don't stop to think about, like, oh, maybe I should invite somebody else to collaborate on this video idea or something like that. So it's a little bit of nervous energy and not thinking ahead to ask somebody to collaborate, but anybody and everybody. And then I think there was a second part. Yeah, what other channels besides beauty do you watch and enjoy? I watch some true crime videos. So I watch Kendall Ray, and I watch Danielle, what is her last name? Danielle something. Of course, Jenna Marbles. I mean, hello, who doesn't watch and enjoy Jenna Marbles? I watch a lot of ASMR, yes. So ASMR, comedy, oh, Cody Co. So comedy, Jenna Marbles, Cody Co, and true crime. So I do watch those genres outside of the beauty community, but I do watch beauty community also. Ha! Sean asked, if you could choose from Disneyland at half price or Hawaii at full price, which would you choose? Sean, how dare you? Disneyland. Disneyland, especially for half price. Disneyland. I am in that predicament right now that, well, maybe, we'll see. If I had the choice to go to Disneyland or Hawaii, that would be a hard choice in and of itself. But if I can go to Disneyland for half price, it's gotta be Disneyland. I do really want to go to Hawaii though, which we're trying really hard to make happen, but Disneyland will almost always win out. All right, next, if you were to create a new business, what goods or services would you want to provide? Or what existing brand would you love to collab with? Okay. I feel like these are two different questions. Alex and I have actually talked about how cool it would be to run a wedding planning service, which might seem very out of the blue, but I've always thought it'd be fun to be, and some people think I'm absolutely crazy because doing this is absolutely crazy and anxiety inducing and stressful, and that's being a wedding planner. But I think it'd be super fun. If I was to create a business where I'm at right now for some reason, it might be on those lines. Some kind of wedding coordinating and working with brides and stuff like that. I think that'd be really, really fun. But if there was a brand that I could collab with, well, are we talking about makeup? If we're talking a makeup brand that I want to collab with, which now that I'm thinking about it, doesn't sound at all like what this question is about, but if I could collaborate with a makeup brand, it would be ColourPop. Next, how do you take your coffee at home and your typical Starbucks order? Well, I answer this one first. There's 3 questions here. So the first one, how do you take your coffee? At home, I make just a pot of coffee and I add in I think it's just the vanilla almond creamer. I think that's what it is. It's an almond milk creamer that's vanilla flavored. And then at Starbucks, I get a chocolate mac mocha with 1 less pump of syrup. And any other coffee stand, I get a mocha with chocolate macadamia nut syrup if they have it, or just macadamia nut syrup in a mocha if they have it. Next, what do you put on your burger? I don't eat a lot of burgers. I'm not a huge fan of red meat, but occasionally I will indulge in a burger. And usually I get a cheeseburger with ketchup, mayo, and lettuce. No onions, no tomatoes, definitely no pickles. And the last question, this question actually was asked quite a few times, especially over on my Instagram, and that is, are kids in the future for Alex and you? And yes, they are. This is the last question on YouTube, and this is quite the question. Thoughts on Too Faced's most recent situation? Will you still be supporting the brand, showing them on your channel, decluttering their products, or panning their products, etc.? Fortunately, I don't think I really have a lot of products from Too Faced. I think that the only products that I have are the Sweet Peach palette and the Chocolate Bar palette. It's unfortunate because the Sweet Peach palette was one of my favorite palettes. I will not, well, it's hard because, well, it's not hard. What Jared Blandino's sister did was absolute trash. With that being said, I didn't purchase that really from them to begin with, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to start purchasing from them. Especially with this, I don't think that I'll be looking for their releases at all. I won't be decluttering the palettes that I have because I already spent the money. I have other project pans going on my channel, so I won't be intentionally panning them, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to support them by any means. So yeah, I think it was garbage what happened and how the situation was treated by them, but I'm very glad that she is no longer working for the company. All right, so those were all the questions on YouTube. Let's move over to Instagram. The first question was, how many children do you guys want? I always say 3, Alex says 2, sometimes I think 1, so between 1 and 3 children. Oh, next, favorite Disney movie, Disneyland ride, and things to eat in Disneyland. So my favorite Disney movie, it's hard because there's like new age Disney and old age Disney. Little Mermaid will always have a special place in my heart. I've also really become a huge fan of Hercules in my early adult life. New Age Disney, I really love Big Hero 6, Wreck-It Ralph, Tangled. I really love all of those movies so much. I think they are just such masterpieces. Oh, Moana also. Moana's a really beautiful movie. Favorite Disneyland ride? I have 2. The first of which has been a long time favorite, and that is the Peter Pan ride. I think that ride is just beautiful. It's simple. It's just very calming. I love that ride. And the exact opposite of that, I really love Big Thunder Mountain. Love Big Thunder Mountain, especially at night. That is one of my favorite rides. Once upon a time, I had no interest in that ride at all, but it became Alex's favorite ride when we started going together, and because we started riding it so much, I realized how much I love it. So those 2 rides in Disneyland. And then the last question, things to eat in Disney. I actually don't really have a favorite Disneyland food. We pack a lot of snacks and then we forget to eat in the park because we're busy running from ride to ride. So, oh, but in California Adventures, there's a macaroon stand that have delicious macaroons. So I do love those, but those are in California Adventures, not Disneyland. I don't know that I really have a favorite in Disneyland. I need to try more at Disney foods because I feel like I should have a favorite. Oh, I mean, there's the churro. The churro is a classic. Moving on, because I've been filming for forever. Oh, Katie Marie is the next question. What is the least enjoyable part of making content for YouTube, and what is the most enjoyable part? I think for me, I like to be in a really good mood when I'm filming videos, and sometimes I have a hard time getting in the spirit of filming, and not being in a high excited mood, in a high energy mood, can make it hard to film and have that energetic presence that makes it enjoyable to watch, enjoyable to film, and enjoyable to edit. I can tell when I'm editing a video if my mood has been a little less than when I'm filming, because it's harder to edit. I can tell that the connection's not quite there. So that's the least enjoyable part, is getting there in my head, and sometimes I don't have the energy or the time to get there, and so I'll be filming a video and I'm lackluster. I feel lackluster, and that sucks. I like editing and I like filming videos. I like makeup and I like comments. Something else that I don't love is being behind on comments, which I just always am, but the attitude, excitement levels not being quite on par. That's probably the least enjoyable part. The most enjoyable part is really everything else. I love everything about this. I love uploading a video, editing, filming, watching comments roll in, tracking all of my analytics. I think that it's so much fun. I just love being a part of this community and feeling like I'm a part of something. For a long time, I just felt meh. Like which isn't true, but that's how I felt. I felt like I didn't have a lot going for me. And now I have this thing that is so cool to me. It's so much fun and it's cool and it makes me feel cool, which is so weird. So yeah, that's the most enjoyable part, is just being a part of this community and doing it. And of course, you guys, like that should be the most obvious. Getting to connect with people that I would never be able to connect with otherwise. All right, let's say you can purchase makeup from one brand only for 6 months. Which brand would you pick? So it's really hard, because if I think about it, in a 6 months period, products that I might need to repurchase are base products. So concealers, foundations, powders, and brow products and mascaras. Like those are probably the core things that I would need to repurchase. Definitely don't need to repurchase lipstick or eyeshadows in that time frame, which makes me think that I would probably want to purchase from Fenty, because they have a foundation, a brow product, a concealer, and a powder that I could use and that I know that I like. The concealer, I've tried a couple times from a friend of mine who has it, and I'm pretty sure that I like that one. I don't love it, I don't think, as much as some of my other concealers, but I do like it. So I think Fenty, based on that logic, because I almost wanted to say ColourPop, but they don't have any base products that I really like. So not ColourPop. Yeah, I think it's gotta be Fenty. Paige asked a handful of questions. Her actual question was, how can your followers interact with you in the most valuable way? How can we support you? So as a creator, the most valuable things is watching videos, liking, and commenting. Those 3 things help with analytics, help get videos pushed out, especially within the first, I think it's 24 hours. The more traction a video gets, the more likely it is to be put in recommended section. So if somebody's watching a video, I would show up in the recommended section and they'll maybe click on that one, or it'll be recommended next or something like that. So watching a video, liking, commenting within the first 24 hours, and part of that might be turning on notifications so that when I post a video, you can click on it or save it to watch later that evening or something like that. So those 3 things are the most valuable as a creator. Yeah, as a creator, those are the 3 most valuable things that you can do for me and my channel. Only 2 questions left. How old are you? I am 27. I actually had a crisis a few videos ago where I could not remember if I was 27 or 28, but I am 27. I turned 28 June 8th of this year. And then the last question, what is your favorite type of product to try? Gosh, that's hard. I feel like my favorite type of product to try is, part of me wants to say eyeshadows, because you never know when you're gonna find just a delicious eyeshadow formula, but another part of me also thinks foundations, because foundations can just, finding a foundation that just really works for you and is your cup of tea is such an experience. I have a handful of foundations that I really love. Having a foundation in your arsenal that just works for you every single time is key. And so trying out new ones to try and find those foundations that are just beautiful on your skin, that's always fun. I really like that. All right, I forgot to drink my wine, so I still have quite a bit in here. I'll finish this up throughout the night, but there is my Q&A. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted questions. I really appreciate it. I had some real fun ones this go around. I'll do one of these in the future, so look out for my posts. I think these are really fun. It helps you get to know me, and if you want to answer any of these questions down below, please do. Okay, let me actually give you a few to answer. First of all, what day of the week are you based on your personality? I thought that question was so much fun. If you've been to Disneyland and you're a Disneyland fan, I want to know what foods should I try from Disneyland that are your favorites, and also what are your favorite Disneyland rides. Ooh, and the last one, if you could go back in any day in history during your lifetime or before, where and when would you go back and why? All right, so that is everything that I have for you today. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe for more content from me, don't forget to do so before you go. All of those buttons are down below, and I think that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.